everyone. Welcome to In the Spotlight with Barbara and Christina.
Hi.
We are so excited to be here today. We have two very special guests. We have Kimball Stadler.
Hello.
From Top Dog Performance. And we have Sergeant Jen.
Yay.
Hello.
Yay.
And I'm going to let them both introduce themselves. Kimball, tell us about yourself.
As we just mentioned, Top Dog Performance, I'm the owner of a marketing company, and really I think I have a little bit of a niche because marketing has such a broad reach. With what I concentrate on, that's all about messaging. It's an idea person. I love doing brainstorming sessions with business owners and getting those creative juices flowing, and really sometimes just getting back to the messaging and getting back to the basics for why you're doing the business and help business owners get inspired again.
And that's so important, the message,
It is.
right? You know, could you explain a little bit more what it means, like the message? Like when you're saying that, because to you it's like commonplace, but to me, what does it mean, the message, like of your business?
Well, so many times, unfortunately, I see a lot of business owners where they fall so much deeply in love with their own business that they don't have the foresight to really understand what are they saying to the people that they meet. Is it the right message coming through?
Right.
Or did you process that elevator speech so many times,
Right,
that I don't have a clue what you're talking about?
Okay.
So it's really getting back to the basic message. What do you want them to say? And then how do you want them to react? All you want to do is make sure that they have a message that connects enough with the people that they're talking to so that it begs them to say, tell me a little bit more about how that works. So you don't want to bamboozle them or baffle them. Make it simple. Do not overcomplicate things. And that's really a good message.
That's very good
fabulous.
advice.
And that's so important. We do overlook that. Even
do.
all of our businesses, we overlook what is the message that's coming through. What am I portraying? That's wonderful.
Yes.
Thanks.
That's
Jennifer
right.
Resco. Introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, I'm Jennifer Resco. I'm a police sergeant with the Miami-Dade Police Department. I've been on the department for 28 years now.
Wow.
And I'm just embarking on a new journey. Yes.
Exciting.
Yes, it's
Yes.
exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm trying to reach out to people to protect them, their assets, and help them in any way I can using all the vast knowledge that I have.
And you're
Excellent.
even talking to me about children, about
Yes.
protecting children and all the different circumstances, you know, that they might come up with.
I think children need, if they could get a way to learn, an easy way to learn about bullying, internet safety,
Kidnapping.
Kidnapping
Oh, yeah,
is a big one.
absolutely.
Drugs is another one.
Right.
Latchkey kids, there's safety features they need to know. That's what I want to get out there. I want the kids to know.
Okay, so if you, now we're going to talk to Kimball, because Kimball's on Venta, we're so glad to have you. And you were talking about your message, like you were saying. If you two are brainstorming, what message do you want to get out? And if you could kind of tell a little bit to Kimball, what is your message?
Well, my message is that there are a lot of tricks and things that kids can learn. Kids are very they're like sponges. So if you can teach a child at a very young age the safety aspects of different things, like obviously, you know, the don't speak to strangers thing, that's all great. But what happens when you don't get a chance to even get that far, when the stranger grabs you? What do you do? This is what the kids need to know. What do you do if that circumstance happens? And they just had that happen, 2 weeks ago in Georgia somewhere. That little
You told
girl,
us that story, tell us.
Yes, the little girl was grabbed in Walmart, and she kicked and she screamed and she screamed and she kicked as hard as she could. And when they interviewed her, she said she did just what her mother told her to do. That's
The mother
message.
educated
The
her.
mother educated her. 2 thumbs up to the mom.
Thank God for moms.
Yes, thank God for moms. But there are other things that they need to know, like internet safety. Kids now are getting on the internet at younger ages.
They are.
And it's so easy to become
Very
a victim.
scary. Absolutely.
Very scary for
children.
parents.
Very scary.
Very scary for the children. Once you've crossed that line, there's no going back. So now what I want to do is keep them from crossing that line. And there are other aspects, obviously drugs, big one.
So you have so many aspects. So when you look at this and you say, okay, I have all these different aspects and I want to get a message. How does she get like all these things into one, like you said, simple? Keep it simple.
Right.
How does that happen?
I look at what categories, because that's a pretty broad spectrum.
Right.
You were talking about a lot of different groups
Right.
that you would get the message to. So just to pull it all apart, you have one target audience. Here's what I would do. When it comes to messaging, you have to start with your target audience.
Okay.
So who are they? Write them down on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Who's my target audience? I want to be in front of these people. What message? What do I want to say to them? I'm going to be I'm going to be in front of kids. Now what's the message? Now I'm going to be in front of moms. Now I'm going to be in front of school officials. So the message is very different. Similarities,
Right.
but you want to spin or orchestrate that message different so that it doesn't fall on deaf ears and that they understand what that action looks like and what they need to be doing. So the message needs to be a matter of, like for instance, the children. How many of them remember stranger danger?
Not very many, I don't think.
Okay. I bet you
Do you
anything the
remember that
parents
word,
do.
Stranger
I don't,
Danger?
I've never heard
What
that.
was that from? That was from
I
a
haven't.
TV show years and years ago, maybe.
Gosh, I don't even remember.
Maybe
But
when we were little,
Yeah.
right?
I'm old.
Stranger Danger. I remember that. That
So-
sounds very familiar.
The kids won't remember that.
Right.
But how you get and engage people in that message is ask what group would. So maybe
Right.
it's the educators, and maybe it's the moms. So how many of you remember stranger danger? Well, what do you tell your children right now?
Right, exactly.
And how do you keep them safe? Now, how have you kept up with the changing technology, and how do you make sure that you're preparing your children in a brand new age?
Right.
That's
So
great.
that type of message will
Great.
keep their interest peaked. That's all you want to do, because now you come in, it's not a pitch.
Right.
And everyone that doesn't have your business, gosh, get away from pitching, because I'm just waiting for you to tell me what the hook is. Don't tell me what the hook is, educate me.
Right.
So your message is all in education. That's really what you're doing with all your vast knowledge.
I want to ask you a question. I'm a real pain in the neck, but I want you to tell me what is pitching. Because you know, when you're saying these things, you're so educated and you've been doing this so long. So for you, it's like really simple. But what does it mean when you pitch someone?
Let me give you an example. Facebook.
Did you have to use that? Okay. Am I going to be unfriended?
I ask you all and everyone out there to check the messages you're sending. And here's when it's a pitch.
Okay.
Let's say you give me a link. And the link is to a wonderful website, and it's a great education piece. It's an article on something. And
Right.
I learned a lot. And I say, wow, my response to the article is, that was really educational. Thank you so much for sharing. And the person that sent me that message comes back with, yes, it's great. Out of my 16 years of blah, 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 I'm the person that has the answers.
I get those all the time.
There's one button that I use. It's called delete, and then another one that says unfriend.
Okay.
And
You got
if you
it.
have to pitch me, you're not educating me. You're
Right.
just waiting for that right moment to go, gotcha. Don't
Right.
gotcha them.
Yes.
So really
And people
stay in
know
the
that.
entity of
Because
education.
you're not fooling them. They know.
Right.
Yes.
People can see right,
Right.
through that.
Yeah.
Very
And it's a matter of,
transparent.
please, I need 5 more people to download my app and test
yes.
it. No, you need 5 more people to download your app.
That's right.
I mean, so
You're cutting
don't-
right through.
Don't
through the
try to
shapes.
feel like you're trying to. Don't trick them. And be honest. If what you're doing is educating, then that's the message. You have to stay so consistent,
Right.
and that's messaging. Stay
beautiful. That is
consistent.
That is really,
Yes.
really
Don't
important.
think that. Well, you know what? No one responded back. Here's your messaging. How you use Facebook to your advantage. Do discussions. Don't overdo it.
Right.
And any more than 3 posts each day from your business, they're going to be, where's that delete button? So don't overload them. And you don't have to baffle them again. So what you do is get them discussing. Who remembers? So a well-orchestrated discussion question with some already posed possible responses, and then allowing them to put in their own responses will give you incredible insight into what they really think. Because in your head, you might be thinking that that message is really clear and that they would react just like that to that question. You might be absolutely shocked, and that could be the best open forum that you could ever ask for.
Okay,
Wow.
so basically you're saying like set up a blog where they can,
Even
What?
use Facebook.
Use
Use
Facebook?
what these
When you-
creative ladies
Okay.
are already putting together for
You
you.
know the things I have to ask you again because I'm like
Please.
simple-minded. When you say post possible, like I'm imagining Facebook now, so I'm putting out a discussion, let's say for the addict's mom or for branding, whatever we do.
Right.
So I'm putting out like, okay, who remembers whatever, and then how am I posting the possible answers? Am I putting like a question? Like how are you doing that?
You do a poll.
Okay.
Oh, a
says
poll,
discuss-
okay.
It says
Oh,
discussion.
That's very,
Great.
very
Discussion.
informative.
So
And
my
then it
polls
says
this week.
add question. And add question.
Okay.
And then what you do, and
Cool.
this is a big thing that business owners absolutely panic with, and they start responding to everyone. Wait, It's kind of like having a class. You want to ask a question and then you want to pause. And how long I pause for, personally, is the entire day. At the end of the business day at 5:30, if I've asked a question, I then go back, I take a look at all the responses, and I give one, and I really mean one, reason why I asked, thank them for participating, and give whatever that closing is. Again, it's not a pitch.
That's great.
So
That's very, very
let
Basically,
them,
it's just getting my name out there.
it is getting your name out there. It's also, you could put together a group. You're masterful at putting together groups.
I don't want to be
Both
taken
of
off
you.
Facebook. It's like I've been pitching, so now I'm like guilty. But all right, now I'm going to be doing polls. But
And don't overuse them. I would say if you do one a
I'll
week.
stay on Facebook today.
You know what's really clever with the messaging? I'll go into a silly story. My
Good.
family, we have a theme night for dinner. It's meant to pull our family together.
Okay.
So it's Munchy Mondays,
Oh,
Taco
I love it.
Tuesday, Whatever Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, and then
Oh,
I don't know where Friday got pizza and pajamas. That's, everybody comes home, we get in pajamas, we get and
how
order pizza.
cool.
Sushi Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh, I
Now-
like Sundays.
Yeah.
So consider this, as cheesy and as hokey as it might be, how can you incorporate something that you could be known for that people could actually rely on each week?
And that's what I want to get Christina to, because now we've kind of led into what we do with Jennifer today.
Yeah.
She's
Right.
given us wonderful. I mean, I love it. I'll be doing polls all over now. But all we wanted that once a week.
Once a week. Okay, maybe
Okay.
push it to every 3 days or so. But
Right, every 4
they'll
days.
get like, oh my god,
Christina,
another one. I just
another poll?
No. I want to ask Christina something that is going to lead into Jennifer, because we did a brainstorming session with Jennifer today, and Christina and I came up with like a little bit of a brand, and we want your opinion, as to, I want Christina to explain to you what Jennifer's doing in the only way she can, because she's brilliant with marketing, and explain what we came up with, and then kind of get both of your feedback.
Well, obviously she's a sergeant, so
Yes.
we renamed her Sergeant Jen, and Ask Sergeant Jen. So many people have questions about safety. And she could do a radio show, Ask Sergeant Jen, call in
Right.
with questions. She can call into radio shows and give her opinion on what's going on. We talked a little bit. Tell them your idea
Top
about,
10.
well, we're going to get to that, but tell them your idea about what you want to do.
What I really want to do.
Yeah, what you really
I
want to do.
I want to get sponsored by a couple of radio stations and like report bad drivers.
Watch
on the
out
road.
for Sergeant
like,
Jen.
Like Sergeant Jen is watching you.
That's right.
Yes,
That's great.
and I gave her the classic example. I was saying, like I could call in and say, hey, you in the white Armada. It was the white Armada with the dent in the right rear. You know who you are. Stop watching TV while you're driving your vehicle. I actually
God.
saw this guy watching a TV
God help us
show
all.
in his car.
Somebody
So I'm
watching
going to give you
TV
a
while
list
they're
of all
driving.
my children, so you can call me first before you.
And then,
Put them out.
but like I told Christina, I said I also want to do the good things too. I was telling her a real quick story where I was stopped at a red light and it was drizzling and it was wet outside, and the car next to me had a young guy in it, maybe 18, 19 years old, and all of a sudden he just ran the red light. And as soon as he did that, the car behind him went flying through the intersection. And I pulled him over, and he was shaking, and he's going, oh, I'm sorry, officer, I'm sorry. I said, no, that was the best driving I have ever seen.
Wonderful.
I said, you prevented a major collision. And I said, I didn't even see him coming. But this kid saw him in his rearview mirror coming and knew this guy couldn't stop. So he did what he thought he had to do. So
Good
that's
instincts, right.
what I wanted to do, is call into the radio shows and just at random and say, okay, you tractor trailer rig, get out of the left-hand lane. Enough already. You've been in the left-hand lane for 5 miles now. Let's go.
Sergeant Jen is watching.
Sergeant Jen is watching you.
Well, Sergeant Jen, we talked about one instant, because Christina and I both asked you a question, and it was interesting, Kimberly, because what happened was, when we asked her, both of us thought a different answer. Like we both thought, like we asked her, if our children or somebody was driving, okay, they could refuse a breathalyzer, right? They could refuse it. So what happens? Like, is it better? Because lawyers will tell you all the time, and we didn't know the answer. Is it better to refuse it, or is it better to take it? Like so you gave us an answer which really educated both of us.
Read your driver's license.
Okay, what
It
does that
says
say?
if you refuse a breathalyzer, you can lose your license. It tells you that. It's right there.
See, I
When you
didn't know
sign
that.
your
We
driver's
didn't know
Really
that.
license.
interesting.
Okay,
It's there.
I have an idea. You just triggered something.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Big idea, lady.
Talk
Here.
about me next week.
How many of us out there who've been driving for how many years?
Yeah.
If we were to take, not study again, but take that road test, how many of us would pass?
2 out of 10.
Oh my God.
So
Maybe
think
5.
about
Oh
this
my God.
on Facebook, on blogging, on whatever the message is. You ask a question. What's this sign mean?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, that's a
Wow.
good
Go
idea.
back once again. You go back to basics,
Mhm.
but you
Wow.
then become, because it's very shareable. You want people to pass that along to
love
say,
that.
just took this test, I failed.
Right.
So think of ideas like
That's a
that.
great
where
idea.
you
That
can
is a
pull
fantastic
And
on
that
idea.
your-
I wouldn't
happened to
even
me.
know.
That really did happen to me when years ago when I lived in New York. I was young. I got my license. Then I moved to Jersey. And Jersey at the time required that you retake the written test, and I failed. Can you imagine? After driving for years, I
'Cause
failed.
who knows that? I don't know
And I had to study and study,
Right.
and then I passed
Well,
again.
then I'll give everybody a tip right now. That little rectangle, that little triangle sign does not mean that you can keep rolling around the corner.
What does it
okay?
mean?
It means you stop for a split second and then go.
You mean the red yield?
The
Save
yield
me a
sign.
ticket.
The yield
But the
sign.
red yield.
Yeah, the red yield, the
Oh.
one that's got all these sides to it. That means you actually stop. And there's a good analogy that cops use. This is the analogy if everybody wants to remember. What's the difference between yielding and stopping? Okay.
I'd love to know
If
that.
I'm beating you with a stick, do you want me to yield or you want me to stop?
Stop.
Stop.
That's the difference.
And how long do you stay at a stop sign before you go? You spell out stop.
S-T-O-P.
Then you go.
I didn't know that either.
Again, here's what you have a
Wow.
huge advantage of. It's tips and techniques.
Oh yeah.
You could every single day, once again, think about Monday through Friday. What could you
I
do?
love that.
I love
Be the
this,
road
yeah.
warrior.
Yes.
The road
The
warrior.
road warrior on Mondays. And Tuesday is
Oh, cool.
Techniques Tuesday. How do you really, and maybe you find someone parallel parking, not that we have to do that much
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
I'm here in Florida.
But, and think about what you can rely on, because again, that consistent message all across the board, people will start sharing it.
And it's so important to
Yeah.
be consistent. What
It
do you
is.
think of the idea? Because when Christina and I were doing the branding session, we want to make it like the one thing that Christina told me when I did the Addict's Mom, and I remember her telling me, she said, "You are the Addict's Mom. Like that's you, your face. You're the Addict's Mom." And it was so important for me, my brand, for me to be the Addict's Mom. So today when we met with Jennifer, Christina was telling her the same thing, and that's how we came up with the
She
Sergeant
is
Jen.
Sergeant
What are
Jen.
your
That's who
feelings?
she is.
What are your feelings about you being your brand?
I think in your case it works.
Okay.
I don't think in all businesses it
No,
does.
I don't think so,
So-
either. But in her case or my case, like when
I
you're
think
talking
in your I think I wouldn't be. You are the addict's mom,
right.
Yes.
but you are Sergeant Jen,
Right.
and it's an endearing term. Yours is going to pose more questions than anything. Yours is like, oh, excuse me, do I have a parking ticket? So, and yours
Right.
would it's how that name, what kind of approach
Mm-hmm.
that name has.
Okay.
I'm the addict's mom. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, think about the demeanor. It's different than,
Oh, it's definitely. It's
Sorry.
more like
Yeah.
my life. When I say I'm the addict's mom,
Because she has two addicted
it's more that
children.
what I have lived through. Unless you're an addict's mom,
Mhm.
I got so many women join the addict's mom, so many mothers, because exactly what you said. Me being the addict's mom is really my life experiences. It's not me knowing
It
everything
bonds
about
her to
addiction.
other addicts.
No,
moms.
the reason
Right.
is I'm not telling you as the addict's mom that I can tell you all about drugs and alcohol and the best thing to do. But no, I'm coming from the perspective for mothers of addicts. But I can tell you what I went through, and I can tell you how I've grown in the last 4 years and what happens in my life. It's more from the perspective that there's so many people helping addicts. There's very few people that are in the, that really
Right,
focus on the
right.
mother of the addict. In your case, you're right. You have so much education
Right, you're
that
the
I don't
expert.
have.
You're the expertise.
You have,
right.
it's even when I first met you, I was like, oh my God, this is one for women. Yay. I mean, she's a son. And I'm thinking, oh my God,
You know what we all really want, though? We want one of those cards to put in our wallet.
Yeah, the one
they really don't work. They don't work.
let me tell you.
Please.
I
I have
have
one from New Jersey, not that mine helps, but
No, but I will tell you a really quick story. Is I had given out quite a few, one to my dentist, one to my doctor.
Everybody asks you, right?
Right. And I actually got a phone call one afternoon on my way home from work and said, "Listen, I have your brother pulled over." And I go, "Which one?" I only have one brother, but I was going, which one? Oh, it's Carrie. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was my dentist.
Now, what is it called? Because you might have somebody out there going, what in the world are they talking about?
No.
What are they, courtesy cards?
Yeah, basically. They're business cards with
They're
my name on
get
it.
out of jail
Get
free
out of
cards.
jail, yeah,
they're
get out
not.
of ticket
Okay.
free.
No.
So we're being kind of let know
Yes.
that we have about 5 minutes remaining, and I do want to talk to our guests because I wanted you to give your final thoughts on, we didn't have, a tremendous amount of time, but you really did an amazing job, I learn so much every time I come. So let's start with you, Kimball. If you can give us your thoughts on what we talked about, just a quick synopsis, and then you, Jennifer, and then...
For me, again, as we were saying, messaging, but it all comes back with, if you don't understand your target audience and what you would say specifically to them, you've got some homework to do. And then making sure that you understand how to use technology and how to engage people in a discussion. As you were saying, it's all about storytelling. And if you don't have the passion behind it or the message to convey, it's going to fall flat, you're going to feel it, and they're going to feel it. So really, to me, it's make sure your message is consistent, make sure that it's about you and the business, and then two, when it comes to really understanding what your material says, it's less about color and design, and it's more about what do you want them to do now that they have that piece in their hand. What is the level of engagement that you want with that individual, and how can you make sure that you're there following up with it? So have fun. And also, I think we were going to mention there's actually grants and funding that's available, especially with you and reaching out to children.
Right.
If you Google CSC, CSC, Children's Services, just do Children's
Don't worry, you're
Services
going to get a million
of
emails
Broward.
now.
Children's Services of Broward.
Right.
And Google it. You will find that they have a lot of money, actually, or at least programs that you may be able to qualify for, apply for, and perhaps
That is really
get.
great.
Wonderful.
I
So
would
you
do
are
that.
really a super
Yes.
duper duper.
And how many
duper
people have no idea? And money just sits there. I mean, I didn't-
Incredible amount.
We're
That's
going to have
amazing.
Jennifer sum up because we only have like 2 minutes now. So I would like to just ask you about your experience, about what you really stood out for you today.
Well, first of all, the branding session with you guys was phenomenal.
Thank you. Christina's
you-
very smart.
You
And so are you. She gives me all the
You
credit.
both relit, and you
Because you
can
get all the looks.
You both relit the passion inside for protection. I just feel like it was my calling to
It is.
protect people,
That's so cute.
regardless of whether they're this big or this big, and even to rat on the ones that are driving like nuts. But
Please do. The ones on cell phones
but
watching
in a way
TV.
that's protection also, because it protects the other drivers out on the street. But you relit the passion, and now I can't wait to get started.
Well,
Oh,
that's
so
why
exciting.
we have 1 minute. I'm going to use it for Christina to close. Okay, Christina,
Well,
you
I
want to
just-
say what we do?
Yes.
If you could, and give our website.
Okay.
And I am just so whatever.
Well,
I'm gonna
Barbara and
shut up.
I are branding and publicity specialists, and you can read more about us at WomenHelpingWomenShowcase.com. And I want to give out Kimball's website,
Yes,
which
please.
is
TopDogPerformance.net.
And Jennifer, we're creating a new website,
it's
so
gonna be
stay
great.
tuned for AskSergeantJen.com or SergeantJen.com. It's coming soon, next couple of weeks.
Yes.
And
I
we're
wanna
so
say-
thrilled to have
Wait,
both
I
of
gotta
you.
say the
That's
Addicts
wonderful.
Mom, at
Oh,
least.
and
Oh,
theAddictsMom.com.
And the Addicts Mom, which is, what is it now? Because
Well,
Christina made me a great
okay.
new name. What is it? We have a new membership site.
New
What is
membership
it?
site. Right now you can go to theaddictsmom.ning.com. We're putting a redirect, and
What is the
eventually it'll be
redirect?
addictsmom.com.
Okay.
So, and that's a great
Okay.
membership site for free.
Great job. You ladies
Yes.
are terrific.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank
Oh,
you.
it was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. I mean, it's
Thank
amazing,
you for
really.
everything.
You bet.
Thank you.
We're just
Yes,
waving
thank
goodbye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it. We're done.